The chairman have a message, yo yo. The chairman have a message, yo yo. Down, rescue generator down. Down, rescue generator down. Forward, matter you be forward. Forward, matter you be forward.
Amanda. Away to Amanda. Viva, CDC, viva. Come on. Down to Mesobaga, down to 3 billion, down to 3 billion, down to dictatorship, down. Amanda. Away to Amanda. But comrades, fellow Liberians, citizens, home and abroad, bring you warm revolutionary greetings from the homes and mattresses from the epicenter of Liberia's largest mass-based, foremost democratic grassroots movement, the indomitable, the undefeatable, mighty Congress for Democratic Change. Fellow Liberians and distinguished partisans, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, today, the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Indomitable Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change has been aligned. Its attention has claimed the prison break conspiracy. I repeat, prison break conspiracy. The latest development from the rescue missionaries to arbitrarily walk into the prison and take 47 men and women, dangerous criminals and notorious criminals. We've been told that a few days ago, those prisoners were released under the mandate and instruction of Mr. Joseph Newman Boakai. And the intent is to unleash those criminals in the communities. And not only to unleash those criminals in the communities, but these political criminals will do political witch hunting on major opposition leaders in the country. And our understanding, according to the Intelligence Bureau of the Youth League, is that they will go to houses of major bosses that diametrically oppose the bad governance, the economic mishap and hardship, and the wanton disrespect to the rule of law of Mr. Boakai and his gang of criminals and bandits. And so these criminals were released under the instruction of Joseph Newman Boakai and the Union Party mercenaries to go after major bosses in the country. So the 47 criminals, Pan-Liberians, the prison break conspiracy was orchestrated. Nobody must be misled and don't be fooled. And so the United Party must be aware that the CDC, Youth League, and its intelligence bureau is far sophisticated, and we are on top of the shenanigans and the tactics and chicanery. And so we want to call upon major actors, including our development partners, the international community, to take cognizance and be aware that Mr. Bwaga is trying to attempting to tamper with the peace and the security of the country. They actually, in the first meeting, were attempting to use the Monrovia Central Prison, but they were advised to go to Kagata. They were advised to do so because doing so will blow more land. And so don't be surprised when the legs of major party leaders are attacked, because their attempts made on the CDC and its political leader. The last time was RRA. The last time was at the party headquarters. Because the guys have failed in the attacks. And so they are retreated to using criminals and some notorious elements to ensure that they inflict casualty on major opposition leaders in the country. And so it has brought our attention to this, and it's important to inform that those that were released by Mr. Bwaga to attack the opposition leaders, want to categorically condemn that as members of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Interminable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. So, fellow Liberians and distinguished citizens and members of the press, it has also claimed the attention of the Youth League that there is a dangerous political attempt deployed by Mr. Bwaga to use the code system to infect the CDC party headquarters anytime and any moment from now. This is the latest cabinet meeting. We intercepted the intelligence. We intercepted this intelligence just few days ago that every legal means deployed by the working and naked dictatorship in Mr. Bwaga and a cohort, a band of criminals and bandits. The latest strategy is that having failed from the physical attack on the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change, having failed from the legal attack on the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change, the last attack is a use the judiciary to take a political approach on the headquarters of the Interminable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. This latest development was intercepted by the Youth League, and we want to warn Mr. Bwaga. We want to warn Mr. Bwaga that doing so is going to jeopardize, undermine his fragile presidency. I repeat, we want to send this caveat to Mr. Bwaga that Mr. Bwaga, doing so will undermine your fragile presidency, and not only will undermine your fragile presidency, but will undermine your fragile government. And not only that it will undermine your fragile government, but a fragile democracy. And the CDC stands for peace and stands for democracy. We also want to be cognizant, but as much as we stand for peace and democracy, we are also cognizant of our rights to resistance. We are cognizant of our right to upholding our civil liberty, our dignity, and our existence as a political movement in the history of this country, which constitutes the largest mass-based movement in terms of the democratic system of our country. And so we want to inform the international partners that Mr. Boakai is using all means possible to degenerate the fragile presidency, the fragile government, and to undermine the peace and security of this country. And so calling the American embassy and international partners that this is the latest attempt deployed by Mr. Boakai and a band of dictators and criminals trying to use the judiciary to take on political decisions against the CDC national headquarters. Any attempt to do that, we can assure you that Mr. Boakai presidency is what will be set for gamble. We can assure you that. The next thing, comrades and friends, we are asking all partisans to assemble at the national headquarters, all young people across the land and brothers country. The Youth League, which is the first line of defense, the political and ideological compass of enlightenment and national resistance, is encouraging all partisans, Women League, young people across the land and brothers country, members of the National Zara movement, to immediately effectively appear at the grounds of the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change on Saturday, this coming Saturday. I repeat, this coming Saturday, all young people are on a revolutionary mandate to come at the headquarters of the Indomitable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. So, you will come at the headquarters as bright as early in the morning. When you come at the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change, we are going to determine the next course of action. The next course of action. But on that day as well, let the Republic be informed. The Republic be informed that we will also take a walk, a peaceful walk at the Capitol building, particularly to members of the 55th National Legislature.
So,
fellow Liberians, you've been told and you've heard in the media landscape that 20 million have disappeared from the national budget. And all fingers have been pointed to the executive mansion, particularly Mr. Boakai, who is a chief patron of bad governance and corruption. The Youth League is concerned about the mysterious disappearance, the surreptitious squandering of 20 million that's supposed to be put at the service of the health workers, that's supposed to be put at the service of civil servants, the policeman, that's supposed to be put at the service of the ordinary Liberians who today are in situational dilemma because they cannot afford to pay their children's school fees as a consequence of bad governance and economic hardship. The Youth League will take a decisive, revolutionary, peaceful, constructive, democratic action on Saturday to determine moving towards the Capitol building and asking for accountability and transparency to ensure that those who authored the national budget and took 20 million will be declared as criminals to the state and agents, provocateurs trying to undermine the survivability of the masses of our people. And so, we'd like to say, fellow Liberians and distinguished members of the Fourth Estate, fellow partisans, these are the latest positions of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Indomitable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. And as such, we are aware, and that's why we have come to let our people know that political action will not evade the CDC from its national party headquarters. I repeat, that political actions will not evade the CDC from its national party headquarters. Evading the CDC from its national party headquarters is equivalent to evading the presidency. I don't want to gamble that. So nobody have the moral equivalence, the political gravitas, the mandate to evading the CDC party headquarters. Doing so is to evade the presidency, is to gamble the presidency. The CDC have been in this place for 20 years, 20 good years plus. And the CDC has been very, very, very very, very peaceful in this process, and it will remain very peaceful, but it will not be provoked into wanting to jeopardize the peace and security of this country. So thank you all so much, distinguished member of the Fourth Estate. The time is yours to ask a few questions. If no question, we can take our leave.
Yes, so we will quickly take 3 questions.
My name is Archie Boan, and I report for Today Liberia Television. You talk about visiting the legislature on Saturday to give your position statement on the alteration of the budget. But from my own understanding, as an individual who covers the legislature doesn't operate on Saturday. So how then?
I did not say we are going to Saturday, Mr. Journalist.
Okay.
I said we will converge. There will be an assembly of the young people on Saturday to determine the course of action moving to the national legislature. So let me restate. The young people have been informed by the Youth League on the politicization of the judiciary to evict the CDC from its national party's headquarters. So we're going to resist that democratically, institutionally, and politically as well. And I'm also informing you that that will not be on Saturday. But Saturday will be the convergence of the young people to decide a peaceful walk at the 55th National Legislature, demanding an investigation, accountability, and transparency over the mischievous disappearance of what is being construed as 20 million United States dollars being masterminded by the executive mansion, orchestrated by Joseph Bwaka. Mr. Bwaka will be asked fundamental question: where did our 20 million go? Can you repeat that, Anthony? Where did our 20 million go? The Youth League will move to the capital very peacefully. Now we can thank you so much.
So my name is Lamo. So my colleague said I also report on Liberia Senate. So as a visitor reporter, when our story came out about 20 million, I contacted one of your party stars, the Dixie Civil, and provided clarity that it was actually 25 million. I was sent to the Federal Reserve in the US, and that money was a mutilated bank note. So in the process of exchanging to get brand pieces of the bank notes, of course there are percentage of the quoted. So on that basis, they reduced that money by 5 million. So the Federal Reserve took 5 million, and the 20 million should have come through charter flight as ordered by the CBL. Unfortunately, there was no charter flight, so that money was channeled.
What's your question?
Channeled to Ghana. And that was the process. That's the reason why the money you find about Ghana receiving money to bring to Liberia. So how do you reconcile that the government has come 20 million? Besides that,
excuse me, that's a question.
Yes, I just want to learn because another political leader will come in. Your political leader is a peace ambassador. He accepted a defeat with less than 1%. I mean, can you compare that? What value can you compare with somebody unveiling, quote unquote, unveiling your party and going to be rejected?
So let me answer the last question. The government constitutionally is charged with responsibility to protect the peace and stability of the country. Our political leaders are men of peace, and you'll forever remain a man of peace. You talk about losing election 1%, of course. So it tells you that Bwaka did not win absolute power, but rather he won a limited power. So in a democracy where the presidency does not enjoy absolute power, it means that government is a fragile government. When the government is fragile, the government has to proceed diligently so as not to undermine its fragility. So less than 1% does not make you a dictator. But this country has seen dictators more than Baka. They were dictators that taught men. Where is he? They were dictators in Mesotoba, in Mesoto, in Charles Taylor. They were dictators around here. Ellen Johnson leave. All the attempts those dictators made, today they have been consigned to the dustbin of history. So let's go back to your previous question. There are legislators with credible moral process in the 55th legislature, whether at the Senate or at the House of Representatives, who came publicly and provided a clear enough information that speaks directly towards the authorization of $20 million US. And now with that, this 20 million has become a center, it's at the center of national debate in the country. And there's nothing wrong for the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Indomitable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. No. Using the democratic tenets to asking fundamental questions and demanding answers on the question about accountability and transparency. Absolutely nothing wrong. So, when we're talking about Dixie Sibo, who we will go at the building, the Capitol building, with thousands of young people. And let me tell you this, there are cascades and convocates of issues and plethora issues on the question about accountabilities in the country. You want to talk about what happened to FPRC? What happened to FPRC? You want to talk about what happened to Ministry of Public Works, the 22.4 million? And let me conclude lastly, that those that will be coming Saturday will constitute all dismissed civil servants. We have a meeting with them as well. This coming Saturday. So all civil servants in the country, if you cannot come because you're working, send your children, send your relatives. The motorcyclists who've been deprived on the account of freedom of movement and assembly. All motorcyclists, all civil servants, we will have message for you this Saturday. So if you're a civil servant or your pa or ma is a civil servant, your relative is a civil servant, and Baka has dismissed them arbitrarily, we have a message for you this Saturday. So by Saturday, the young people of the CDC, independent civil society move actors, civil servants, health workers who've been dismissed for JFK, who've been dismissed for Phoebe, who've been dismissed all around the country. You need to come to the headquarters. We have a message for you. We will ensure that this message will be the first and will be the last. Mr. Baka will not dismiss Liberians who have equal competence and qualification to work under our law. Not in our time, they will be dismissed on political questions, on party settlements, and on knee-jerk reactions. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, so the last question was I'm more concerned about the court proceeding. Your party SG is on record of negotiating with the legitimate owners of this land. Now you are saying that you have intelligence that the government want to use the court procedures to raid your party headquarters. Do you think that your party and the legitimate owner is now in crisis that led the government to back the owner of this land to invade the party headquarters?
Come in. This party headquarters has been here since for the past 20 years. When I was 15 years, this party headquarters was overbanned. The headquarters of the CDC, the home of the CDC, there were men here who came here, raised the Father God of men. 20 years. Why is Ellen did not take this headquarters for the CDC? Why is it on a Baka? What Mr. Baka looking for behind the CDC? What is he looking for? Fair appearance. Fair appearance. Dictators are brought down on similar issues in history. Dictators are brought down. Mr. Baka has a singular responsibility and mandate on an arrest mission to deal with the bread and butter issues in the country. You say you bring 3 billion, fine for you. Go and pay 3 billion with people's school fee. Parents are crying in the country. How is it better with the CDC protocol? He must hands off the CDC protocol. Hands off. The CDC hands off. The CDC Today, police are underpaid. Mr. Baka promised 10,000 young people will be given opportunity to learn RCTC. He said that upon his arrival, that civil servants' salaries would have increased astronomically. You will do away with you, what we call the harmonization. How far are we with the civil servant salary increment? You said on the 15th of every month, civil servant will receive pay. You say you're going to increase the salaries of health workers in the country. How far are we with that? So you say you're going to provide jobs. You're going to bring investors in the country. Where are the jobs? Where are the investors? You said no car we're going to stock in the mall. No car we're going to stock in the mall. How come you in Central Moravia, feces are flooded in the streets? In the rural areas, the roads are deplorable. They are backward, and these roads are contaminated and destroyed. Where is the 22.4 million Mr. Baka? Those are the economic issues. Those are the bread and butter issues. Address the teacher's salary, health worker's salary, civil servant increment salary, motorcyclists that you used and you running behind the people. Those are the issues. The CDC has gained power democratically and peacefully. You have 6 years to do so. But if you cannot govern, the CDC will help you to govern and will govern decisively. Let me repeat. The CDC will exist at the part of 2029. The CDC is not going nowhere. And we say thank you ever so much. And we want to stand there.